Where's my manners? Happy new month, people. I know I'm 2 days late, B-man timing, but it's calm. Liverpool shine Shabazz like. Mbappe's having a break. Hey, Edu, go on buck him, get the barbecue out. Mbappe, anyone can play for Real Madrid, bro. Come and show us you're the next Thierry Henry, man. Real Madrid, he's not good. He's not better than Vinicius. Let us have Kylian. But for what it's worth, Arsenal set to complete deals for Declan Rice and Timber by the end of this week, with the £105 million West Ham star and 40 million rated Ajax defender scheduled in for medicals. Get in there. Arsenal are set to seal the deals for Declan Rice and Timber this week. Rice's transfer is 95% complete, while Timber's deal is virtually agreed. The West Ham star and Ajax defender will now undergo medicals at the club. Maybe we need to be patient, but that's cool. And it seems like we're getting over the line, but I need to see them holding shirts, scarves, you know, get our photographer out there, get the editors on. It's now time to show official confirmation. But for what it's worth, the Daily Mail, Sammy Motbell is saying Arsenal are set to complete the transfers of Declan Rice and Timber by the end of the week. The Gunners' pending deal with West Ham over 105 million transfer of Declan Rice is 95% complete, while there's a verbal agreement in place with Ajax for the capture of defender Timber in a deal worth an initial 40 million. Mail Sports understands medicals have been scheduled for both players in the coming days, amid the expectation their signings can be formally completed by the weekend. That would be good because we're hearing Reece Nelson and Saliba putting the finishing touches on their extensions as well. So it'd be great for us. And I think between this week and next week, I'm sure the players are starting to return back for pre-season. I could be wrong. The 14th of July, which is next Friday, I could be wrong, people, but I'm sure we've got a pre-season game. We need players like Tchouaméni, but I'm sure he isn't coming. Need pen on paper picture. DG, please. Are there no plans by Arsenal to sign a world-class striker this season, or are we bringing Balogun back and selling Nketiah? I think Balogun's probably forced the club's hand in that he's going to probably depart. I would rather sell Eddie Nketiah, and I feel a bit harsh to say that because I do think if Balogun was here and he done what Eddie done, and Eddie was over there in France, we might be looking at it a bit differently, but Balogun does look like a shiny new toy. Admittedly, I'd love for him to sign a new deal. Then we control everything. If you want to leave, get your agent to, we can loan you out or whatever. We're a position of strength. But then again, I do think Eddie would have interest from the Premier League, but who are you more likely to get more money on? You know, I think Balogun, because he's got 20 odd goals, but Eddie Nketiah hasn't done that in his career to date. Balogun's probably on cheaper wages than Eddie because he's just signed a new deal. I don't think we'd sign a new striker, but I'd love it. Rice medical soon get in. I big up my guy Witz Capone. But yeah, man, talks over the finer details of Rice's move will continue on Monday today with a view to reaching a full agreement in the next 24 hours. I guess we're all waiting on David Ornstein. Mail Sport were first to reveal on Wednesday that the two London clubs had agreed a fee in principle for Rice, people, but talks primarily over the timescale of payments from Arsenal to West Ham have been ongoing. As we know, and I've probably said this 20 million times, the Hammers want 100 million guaranteed portion of the fee paid by the start of 2025. Arsenal initially offered to pay the money over the course of a 4-year period, but a final and full agreement between both clubs is now within touching distance. The deal for Timber has also been agreed in principle, with just the final paperwork left to complete before the Holland international can finalize, or better yet, finish the formalities attached to his move to London. Arsenal have already completed the signing of Kai Havertz in a deal for 67.5 million, potentially rising to 70. So yeah, great, but we want to see people like Havertz here holding shirts and things like that. Again, Declan Rice propaganda, most forward passes. Again, you've got to contextualize this, people, for midfielders only. Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, sorry, is going to be high. Rodri's going to be high. Declan's going to be high. Højbjerg, I didn't think he'd be as high as that because it's missed the sideways passes. But yeah, people. And you've got Jefferson Lerma. So that tells you he can help with progressive play. When you look at him compared to other midfielders at Arsenal per 90, he scores high, you know, he scores quite highly for tackles, for passing accuracy, for his duels won, for interceptions and progressive carries. You know, the next person that gets anything close to him is Granit Xhaka. You know, I did think Partey would be higher, but then again, Xhaka's played more games than Partey, and that's not a skill set of bodyguards. And Jorginho isn't quite that. Let's get to 200 likes, people. Big up MB, appreciate that. Anywho, people, most possession one, Rodri's second to only Declan Rice. So we're signing the best midfielder in the Premier League. All right. Wobbe's one possession quite a lot. You can't, stats don't always tell the full story, but they also don't lie, people. I can't lie, Mr. Aidan J. Wood, he was the first guy that I saw tweet Declan Rice, Arsenal done. Hearing an announcement could be as soon as later today. Unsure on the price tag, but huge statement of intent from the Gunners. I think we all need that statement. Ben Jacobs has said only paperwork is lacking on the Timber deal. It's all virtually agreed. Medical's also been booked in. So hopefully, you know, that gets done sooner rather than later. Again, Arsenal are set to complete moves for the names we've already said. People, I don't want to keep repeating the same things. Declan Rice is set to undergo his Arsenal medical ahead of his move after cutting short his holiday. Rice has ensured that he can rubber stamp the move swiftly after flying back from his holiday. He returned from Dubai on Saturday. But hey, what, he's done with DXB already? If I had your money, I wouldn't be. Arsenal got to send that doctor over them sides. But for what it's worth, he's set to undergo a medical. He's cut short his holiday. Final details are being sorted out, including the structure of the payments before Rice will go through the formalities of the move. He'll undergo a medical with the Gunners before finally putting pen to paper on what will be a long-term deal. Rice has ensured he can rubber stamp the move swiftly after flying back from his holiday again on Saturday, people. So yeah, big up to him. Apparently, yeah, man. Big up him. I think that's just some nonsense. So we're not going to read that. We've also been linked with Laporte, people. Now, I'm having Laporte, can play left back, can play centre half. I just think with Gabriel and Kirio, I can't see us signing another left-sided centre half, but why not? Arsenal are reportedly the latest side to show an interest in Manchester City defender Laporte. You just get the vibe that he wants to go back to Spain, really. He's been linked with Aston Villa as well as Tottenham Hotspur. Great for you. He's someone that Arsenal are looking at. I'm not too sure on that, but having played for Bilbao and obviously Arteta being from, I swear Arteta's from the Basque region, there could be some of that. DG, I've been hiding, I can't lie. Big up, bless up, all that. Appreciate that. Did anyone notice that Rice's reveal while he must have been on holiday was a bit like the Willian one? I'll be real, I can't remember when the Williams thing was announced. Vlahovic has been linked with Arsenal again, people. Again, I don't buy this, but allegedly this article has said Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal looking at him. It will take 90 million to have a conversation. I just think they're leveraging the interest of all of these clubs. Their fans, at least, could make a case of a striker. Obviously, Vlahovic has been historically linked with Arsenal. Fabrizio has said Arsenal are getting closer to completing the Timber deal. Sources feel will be done next week. Negotiations at final stages since Thursday. More positive contacts took place. Payment terms being discussed with Ajax in time for a medical. So yeah, he's also said on Lavia, people, Arsenal are there. Arsenal are still interested in Lavia, but they are now 100% focused on these deals for Declan Rice and Timber. But Lavia remains one of the targets in case both Xhaka and Partey leave the club. So I don't know anything. Arsenal last summer, nobody saw, and not the same, but Fabio Vieira was signed out of the blue. But that tells me, again, maybe not going to see two centre mids come in, at least until one departs. Romano on Rice has said Arsenal and Rice close to final agreement on payment terms. Final green light expected for both Declan Rice and Timber, as both deals are at a very advanced stage since Thursday, Friday. So it seems like everyone chilled off for the weekend, chilled with their family, and we're back on the case now, man. Liverpool have actually put a damper on the Lavia stuff. Allegedly, they've just announced Szoboszlai, but they're in the race for Lavia, people. There's no change despite Szoboszlai and McAllister incoming. They remain keen on Lavia. He's on the list along with Thuram. Romano's also said Arsenal are still very interested, but it depends on Thomas' exit. Southampton also want 50 million. So that probably means we're not going to get Lavia. Ben Jacobs has linked us with Gabby Vegan. It feels like the transfer news is doing full circle again. He said, don't rule out Liverpool and Arsenal. They've looked in the past, but it's just that those two clubs are not active at this point, although they're well across the situation in terms of the deal. He's been linked with us, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and a whole bunch of others, people. Once again, we've been linked with Lavia. Apparently, Arsenal are reluctant to pay the 45 million that Southampton are requesting. Quite the profit based on the 12 months ago that they signed him. As for Lavia, from what I understand, Arsenal are reluctant to meet the 45 million pound valuation set by Southampton. At the same time, the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea are interested, and there's been talk of United, but I don't know much of United's interest. But I know that Chelsea and Liverpool are interested, and what they've told the players' reps is that if the asking price is lower, they'll be potentially ready to formalize their interest. So we'll have to see how that develops, people. And again, this article has said Liverpool are actually preparing to open talks officially over Lavia. Smash the like button and get things done, people. I hope we're in for Lavia. I can't see Partey staying as a backup to Rice, and I don't think Arteta rates Sambi anymore. Of course, we have El Nene for now as backup, but we need more if Xhaka and Partey leave. I agree with you. And for Partey, he's got to relish competition, really and truly. Again, while I think it's going to be Odegaard, Havertz, and Partey, there's going to be games. Declan Rice and Partey are going to be the men in the trenches. And I look at it, although I think we need two centre mids, as you perfectly said there, you've got El Nene, rightly or wrongly, for another year. Jorginho's made it clear he's staying. Asterisk next to Xhaka and Partey because they've been linked with moves away. Rice is coming in 67 and a half million all the way to 70. Havertz is coming in. You've got Smith Rowe. You've got Fabio Vieira, who can play in the pivot. You've got Mr. Odegaard. And again, I'm forcing it. and he plays left back, but you've got Zinchenko as well. So maybe Arteta is saying, you know what, it would be nice, but maybe we part that off for another 12 months and then reassess next season, because we will have to bring in a centre middle too. As you rightly said, you'd imagine at least within the next 12 months, or let's say 2 years, you'd imagine Partey, Xhaka, Jorginho, and El Nene are not at the club. I don't know for Xhaka and Partey, but I would definitely say, Xhaka looks like he's gone. I'd imagine at the start of next season, El Nene and Jorginho aren't here. Again, anything can change. But for what he said, Liverpool are preparing a bid. Arsenal and Chelsea are also interested in Lavia, people. So we'll have to see. It's a lot of money for someone that has only made 34 appearances in, for his new club who he joined 12 months ago. Quality player. Can be anything he wants, but whatever in it. TalkSport are now reporting that Liverpool are trying to steal a march on their rivals by making an opening bid. Again, we all know Chelsea are interested. And what makes this move a bit more techie is apparently City have a buyback clause active from next season, which had Southampton stayed in the division, I think he stays there, but they're also due 20% of any sale, people. And if a team was to match the asking price of Lavia, which is 50 million for this example, they'll be due 10 million quid, really. So we'll have to see. Got to be exciting times for Liverpool, though, with Szoboszlai and these kind of guys. Completely off topic, people, but I just shout saying Szoboszlai. Sorry, people. I just had a content idea. I'm going to shout out some Liverpool fans. Always working for you lot. Liverpool had to hijack Arsenal and Chelsea's pursuit of Lavia, people. So we have to see. Everybody's reporting the same thing. There can't be any smoke without fire. Graham Bailey of 90 Minutes has said, he said, I think they'll want one more. From what we are hearing, I wouldn't rule out Arsenal signing another midfielder. I think Caicedo will be Chelsea bound, but Lavia, someone like that, I wouldn't rule out Arsenal getting another top class midfielder. In fact, I'd be shocked if they don't. Now, again, that might not be all of what he said, but interestingly, that's the first thing we've read where it hasn't actually correlated bringing in Lavia or someone else to Xhaka or Partey leaving. At the moment, there's still interest, says Romano from Arsenal, but still not a bid. Liverpool are now in the race. They're working on Lavia and are now having direct contact on both the player and club side. Liverpool and Arsenal are both in the race for Lavia. There are two clubs who are pushing in this moment, people. He's also said on Caicedo, for some Arsenal fans that had small hope that we'd wake up and we're signing Caicedo, Chelsea will continue talks with Brighton over the individual. Clubs will be in direct contact as negotiations are ongoing. Chelsea hope to find a solution soon as personal terms are not an issue. Caicedo's already said yes, allegedly, to Chelsea. And again, Sky Germany is saying Timber to Arsenal is done. Total agreement expected in the next 48 hours. Total package 41 million euros and an extra 5 million in potential bonuses. Big deal for all parties. Everyone's a winner, really. On Balogun, this is said, Balogun is weird because in the last couple of days, two stories have come out with different prices that Arsenal are willing to accept. As far as I know, Arsenal are happy to sell him. It's a decision I'm also on board with personally. Not that overly matters, but yeah, it depends about what price point and who's looking at him. Obviously, with the price point, it depends who's looking. I mean, we say we can get 40 million, for example, but if we're only getting Ligue 1 teams looking at him and their names aren't PSG, they're not going to pay 40 million. It's just not going to happen. So the price will be judged by who's looking. Amen. As long as there's a sell-on clause, potentially a buyback clause, we're laughing. Charles Watson said he expects Marquinhos to go on loan. I think we all do. 2 goal involvements, which probably came on debut day in 11 appearances. It's probably not going to work out. I'm not going to judge a 20-year-old off his first move, to the country. In the last 12 months, he's moved not only from South America to England and London, but he's gone up to Norwich. But he does need to go on loan. I mean, we signed him for 3 million. If he can turn into a player, great. If that 3 million one day turns into 30, keep it moving. The world keeps spinning, innit, people? Arsenal have looked at Gabby Vega. We've known this before. We've seen that with Ben Jacobs. What is this saying? We've been linked with Cancelo again, people, allegedly. I'd expect Timber to play more of a right-back role, but who knows? But for what it's worth, Give Me Sport said Arsenal still do have an eye on Cancelo, but that one has to wait because they have enough on their plate to deal with at the moment. This is a big week for Arsenal with deals for Rice and Timber to get over the line. Again, scrolling all the way down. Keep your thoughts coming in. On Thomas Partey, Romano has said he still has interest from Juventus and from Saudi clubs, but as of now, there's nothing advanced. There's also been a verbal agreement for Xhaka to join Leverkusen, which has been in place since May. It's very advanced, but now it's up to Arsenal. They will look to resolve final details of the Rice story and then decide on Xhaka and Partey. Now, conflicting reports coming out with Xhaka and that. Arsenal have had a bit of a U-turn. Check out the video I did yesterday and that. We're open to selling him, but we're not quite on selling him. Some are saying we're upping the price tag for him, in which I know he's 30 and he's got a year left on his deal, but he had a very good season, really. And if we tried to buy Granit Xhaka from Leverkusen or Diaby or whatever, they're not going to cut us any discounts, per se. So yeah, people, again, we're going to keep going over the Lavia stuff there. As you can see, people, Arsenal reluctant to meet his price tag currently, people, and Liverpool and probably Chelsea seem ahead at this moment in time. We've seen that with Romano. Barcelona are working on a deal to sign Miguel Aziz. We spoke about that. He'll probably go into Barcelona B. One of our young goalies has spoken. Young Ovi said, "I will have a short vacation when I return. I still don't know what happens after that. I've really enjoyed being in Finland. The Finnish league is a very technical series. My passing skills have improved a lot there." You play in first team football, you're not going to get that at Arsenal. You've gone on 2 loans, go out there again. You know, you've got Arthur Okonkwo, who's probably ahead of you, and he might not get first team football. You've got Matt Turner and Ramsdale ahead of you. Go out and get football, man. Go out and become a better player, really and truly. We've been linked with a Sporting Lisbon left-sided centre-back, in RCO, I can't say his name, but he's, you know, football manager king, and he played quite well in the 2 legs against us, or at least one of them. For what it's worth, he's the second Sporting Lisbon defender we've been linked with after Diamande. Sporting want 45 million euros. I don't really buy that, having already got Gabriel and Kirill, having technically seen Saliba reintegrated, having spent 50 million on Benjamin White, having Tomiyasu could play over there, and also Timber. I don't really buy, especially, maybe Arteta wants another defender with Holding about to leave, but I don't buy that. And also, if you get another 6 or someone that can play, so you could have Rice as another 6, and obviously Partey. Declan Rice, if needs must, can do a job at centre half. We can't forget that. A bit like you've seen Rodri maybe a few years ago do for City. Goal.com has said we're closing in on Rice and Timber. We've seen that. We're to complete the Timbers deal this week. We're looking at Kylian Mbappe. Lol, I would love that to be the case, and we can look as much as you want, but word to 50 Cent, it's window shopping. Pepe spoke about Arteta and kind of quashed rumours about how Arteta treated him. I've covered that in previous vids. Pablo Mariz officially joined Monza, people, as you lot know. Allegedly, I don't believe this, but we're the only English club in for Arda Güler. I'm not too sure he's a priority at this moment, because while I think he's going to be a quality player, and as I said, he's a crown in the jewel of Turkish football, in terms of immediately helping us aspire to win a league title and things, I don't think he can impact us right now in the fact of what Arteta believes Havertz might do, what Rice gives the team, and what Timber does. So if there's money to spread around, bring him. And I'm sure Ozil can put in a good word. Big up Ethan for confirming his scholarship details. So yeah, you'll be hard to find Arsenal players, better yet, linked with Arsenal that are not Timber, Lavia, Declan Rice, and players that have historically been Cancelo and players like that. There hasn't really been any new names. Hopefully next week there is. Balogun's still linked with a move away. We've been discussing Thomas Partey. Scrolling down in the attempt to see something new. There's been nothing new there in that regard. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed there. Let's make a timestamp. And that seems to be it. Hopefully, Declan Rice can be confirmed. Well, all of these lot confirmed this week, because pre-season started, man. We saw what it did with us with Zinchenko and Jesus, and maybe how it helped Fabio Vieira integrate as well into the team. I don't want Vlahovic. He had his chance. Didn't want us in our worst. Don't come when we're on top. Stay at Juventus. That's true. And you're not wrong. And it's not the same. But do you remember the season before we actually confirmed Mikel Arteta as our manager? He actually was offered a job and he didn't take it. Now, by that logic, we wouldn't have got him. I hear you, but sometimes the emotional thing might not be the best. We don't need to go back. To be fair, we move. Hear that. Hope everyone had a great weekend and a great week. Saka, hope you're doing well and safe. There seems to have been a centre mid renaissance in world football last couple of years. Hope so. Got to get the slow boots out of midfield this summer. I hear that. Yusuf Fifana or Lavia DG, who do you prefer? Oof. Because Fifana is lit still. I guess Fifana is a bit more experienced. Price tag's probably the same, because Monaco know we got money, and Monaco buy these players. Before, you know, again, I did a video when he was at Strasbourg, as I did with Simikan before he went to Leipzig. And there's definitely another one, Tchouameni, when he's at Bordeaux. You got to grab these guys before they get to a team like Monaco, because they know it's bread. Probably going to see the same fee. You know what, Lavia? I like him. Having Rice alone in midfield is like having rice and peas without kidney beans. I don't know about that. And to be fair, I've had enough kidney beans to last a lifestyle. And if I'm honest, shoot me.